don't go full-time trading yet. There are some things that you need to have in place. There's actually a lot of things that you need to be doing from now until the end of 2025. So if you do want to go full-time trading in 2026, you're in the best possible position. Let's get into that. Right, so before we get into the strategy as to how you're going to go full-time in 2026, we need to establish how much time have you got left to the end of the year, and I want you to write that down. So all you need a plan, and however many days it is. So let's say in that plan you've got, I don't know, 28 days. So you've got 28 days left for the end of this year. What you need to prioritize is momentum. Momentum is what is going to carry you through into 2026. It's that mentality of being sharp on the ball. You need some urgency. So momentum is key. But if you've got a game plan for 28 days as to how you're going to generate that, that can be your morning routine, your evening routine, meditation, breath work, like whatever gets you in rhythm and in flow is crucial. At the point of you watching this video, whether it's 20 days, 46 days, 8 days left, you need to generate as much momentum, because without momentum, you're finished. Like if you want to have an incredible 2026 and you want to go full-time trading, it's going to be all about momentum. So you need to get organized, you need to be structured. So I want you to do this, generate that and create a plan for how many days. So whatever the amount of days is left from now to the end of the year, that's your days of a plan. You then need to remove distractions. On top of that, I need you to go through your finances. I need you to declutter, get rid of all the crap, all the things that is not helping your trading journey, get rid of it so you can reinvest that money back into things that are going to help you. Reinvest that money back into education, reinvest that money back into books, learning material, reinvest that money into funding assessments that is going to be the leverage for you to get to where you want to be. So you can start scaling it, reinvest that money into your personal account so you can start topping that up. That as a framework from now until the end of the year, you need to get that on point. So right, once we've established that, that's key. But how are you going to go full time in 2026? What do you need to have put aside, if you like? So what I want is I want you to have 6 months minimum of savings, right? And with that 6 months of savings, I want you to work out it's going to be different for everyone, right? What's the amount of money you need to survive per month? So let's say it was 2K. 2K takes care of everything. So you're going to have 12K, so 2 times 6. So you're going to have 12K set aside. That is going to be your entry level, I would say, into full-time trading. So this is where you can enter into full-time trading if you want. Now you might be saying, well, look, with this 2K of money that I make, how am I going to save 2K? Because I can't save every single penny. Well, this is the key. I am assuming at this stage you're not a beginner. I'm assuming at this stage that you're in a position where you're going for funding. So you could have a funded account like a 100K FTMO, and you might be banking, I don't know, you might have 5-6K worth of withdrawals. Essentially what you need to do is you need to build a plan to achieve this, right? You need that 12K. So that changes your perspective a lot, because what I see is people will be, I don't know, they'll be going through funding, they get a little payout here and there, they might make like £1,000, withdraw that, and they just waste it on something. Maybe book a holiday. They've got no real game plan as to what they need to do. Where what you should be buying is buying your time, buying your freedom. So now that changes the way that you see your FTMO account or your other account, like whatever it is. So now you go, right, everything needs to funnel into this 12K target, because once I've got 12K, I've got 6 months of freedom. Once I've got 6 months of freedom, I have a choice. And once you're in a position to get 6 months of freedom, you probably don't have 12K worth of savings from prop firm withdrawals unless you've already achieved, probably at this point, a 200K account, maybe even more. So you're actually in a position where you've got 6 months worth of your savings and you have a 200K account that's probably making you on average per month 4K, right? At a really, really low amount, like conservative. You could probably make more than that, but let's say it's 4K. So not only do you're making every single month now double what your monthly salary used to be, or your monthly salary that covers everything of all of your essentials, you've also got 6 months put aside. Now think about the pressure that does for you, or the lack of pressure that you have when you're in a scenario like this. What do people do? They don't have any of this, so they've got no savings, they've got one little withdrawal, they upgrade their lifestyle, and then when their equity curves goes from like this to a really slow bleed like that, and then they have zero. Their account's gone, that 200K is gone, any other account is gone, all their savings are gone. They've gone, oh, I went full-time trading. Why did I do that? Oh, Mark, I've done that because I hated my job. The goal isn't to escape your job. You should keep your job. You shouldn't even be thinking about going full-time trading. This is what I would do. I would find, let's say you don't like your job, I would find a job that you like, and then try to get the maximum amount of money for the most flexibility. So let's say you could earn £2,500, but there's no flexibility whatsoever, and you could earn 2.3K, but you have loads of flexibility. You sacrifice the £200 per month and you go for this, because now you've got most flexibility, which means that you can actually take advantage of daily trades. You could take advantage of H4 mastery trades. You essentially, you're in a position, or a better position, where you could take advantage of all different time frames of trades. And that's crucial, because what you've done is that you've basically paid £200 at this point to be able to have more access throughout your day. And how much is that worth to you? How much is that worth to you having a 200K account? How much is it worth to you to not miss out on moves that would make you 5 grand? 200 quid is a small price to pay for you to be entrapped. So don't just go for the highest amount of money. Go for the highest amount of money with the maximum amount of flexibility. Now I want you thinking about the bigger picture. The ultimate goal is for you to not just quit your job, not do any of that. I actually want you to work for as long as possible. The way I see it is that, why would you cut the income? Like, why would you put unnecessary pressure? Because if you found a job that has maximum pay, most amount of flexibility, why do you need to quit unless you absolutely hate it? If you're not miserable and it gives you order and structure, because I would argue sometimes going full time actually pulls you away from being profitable, because now you have to be disciplined the whole day. You've got no one to answer to, no one to talk to, no order, no structure. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to get to a point where you get bored, probably force more trades, end up ruining the success that you've done because you were micromanaging. And boredom really does destroy a lot of traders. So I don't want you thinking that leaving your job is always the answer. Why would you not? Why wouldn't you want the 2.3K stacking up? So then you've got 2.3K coming from here, then you've got 4K coming from there, building up. Now you've got your 6 months of savings, and then you go, hey, I'm going to put half of that into a personal account, and I'm going to grow my personal account whilst I'm leveraging funding, whilst I'm scaling up. But what is the key thing that you should absolutely not do for a period of time? And most people would think this is extreme. I think this is the bare basics. If you really want to make this a long-term career, for the first year, you shouldn't even be thinking about upgrading your lifestyle. So where do people lose? They go, right, I'm full-time now, I've got 10 grand in the bank. Oh, I like the idea of that Audi or that new Porsche or whatever. I can afford it. I'm making some withdrawals on FTMO. I can justify it. So you're too quick to you're too quick to increase your lifestyle when you could be doing it incrementally. So I'm not saying never have a withdrawal, never spend it on yourself, never do anything, but stick to some ratios. Like you don't want to be the person that goes full time and then has to go back to work. That's so demoralizing, and there's a better way to do it. And if you really get to a point where, you know what, like, I want even more flexibility now, well, get yourself in a position where you have more capital, go part-time. So you've got a bit of structure, a bit of order, and you can take more time off so you can still travel the world. Like, it doesn't need to be or this or that. There are compromises that you can make that stack the odds in your favor. And I've seen way too many people in this industry, for the amount of years that I've been trading, make silly mistakes. They're not thinking like a professional. They don't treat trading like a business. They're just gambling, but they use trading as the disguise. What my goal is here as a mentor is, I don't care about being flavor of the month. I don't care about saying all the shit that you think sounds good. What I care about is that you go full time or quit your job or half quit your job in the right way that helps you. Because I want you leveling up. I want your personal account being at a sizable amount that if you lost all of your funding, you wouldn't be so vulnerable, because you'd have savings aside and you'd have like a 10, 15, 20K working towards a 6-figure personal account where you can never be leveraged. Why wouldn't you want that? Your mentors are not teaching you that because they don't care about that. They care about the current trend, what is the topic of the month. That's not going to give you long-term sustainability. So you might not always like what I've got to say, but guess what? It's what's going to help you make money long-term. For those of you that are interested in how we trade, hybrid trading, anything we've done, check out our previous episodes. Or if you're ready to get started and you want to make sure that you finish this year as strong as possible, I highly recommend you take advantage of it. You can actually access Falcon for free for 7 days. Link is in the description. I look forward to seeing you on the inside.